Hey everyone, my name is IGM and today I'm going to be bringing you a video on one of the most topical things this week, this month and even this year, and that is Star Wars. And this video is going to be me analysing Anakin's downfall in the prequels. Enjoy. Alrighty, so before we start this video and get really into it, I want to let you all know that there will be spoilers for the Star Wars franchise, that is the prequels and the original trilogies. But to be honest, if you're watching this video, you probably don't care about spoilers. So I just wanted to let anybody know in case they hadn't seen any of the films and I didn't want to spoil it for them. So now that that's said, let's get on with the video. So today, since Star Wars has been topical in the past few while, I decided that I was going to create a video on Anakin's downfall. Now this is a video I've wanted to do for a while. I've thought about doing it and I've had it scripted for a while, but I thought now would be a good time, or a better time, to release the video because of the Force Awakens and the hype for it. So I'm going to release this video as a celebratory kind of video for the Force Awakens, but it's about Anakin's downfall. And if I want to tag this a little bit on, to be honest, I think the prequels need a little bit of support because there's a lot of current bashing and people slating them. And really, when you take a look at the storytelling side of things, you'll begin to realise just how clever George Lucas was and the directors and writers were with the prequels. And hopefully this video will give the prequels a little bit of support. So that's enough chit chat, let's get on with the video and let's hop into this analysis and this exploration and explanation of Anakin's downfall in the prequels. And this explanation might give more credibility, and well, I say credibility, basically it gave the prequels more meaning to me and it made the prequels a little bit more profound, so hopefully it'll do that for you. Today I'll be talking about Anakin's downfall in the prequels in terms of the Monomyth, and that's Joseph Campbell's version of the Monomyth. Anakin's downfall can be explained with accurate precision using this form of monomyth that dates back centuries but has been explained by Joseph Campbell in more modern times. And it's this monomyth kind of depicts that every hero in a story must go through trials in order to succeed and progress through the story as a hero. The first trial in Campbell's monomyth, or Campbell's interpretation of the monomyth, being described as a meeting with a goddess. This meeting being described as a meeting where the hero or the person experiences love to them that's significant and powerful in their story and their story arc. So this is a very important step in the process of the monomyth's trials, and it's usually signified by our hero or a person meeting another person that they love almost completely. Sound familiar? If it does, that is because this version of the monomyth almost perfectly describes Anakin's meeting with Padme in the first prequel film, The Phantom Menace, thus giving the Phantom Menace more of a meaning than just people liking it for the cool lightsaber fight with Darth Maul. In The Phantom Menace, Padme becomes Anakin's version of this goddess that is depicted in the monomyth, and Anakin even kind of asks Padme in the Phantom Menace if she is an angel when they first meet, this giving Padme a kind of angelic, godlike depiction in Anakin's mind, and thus Anakin has met his goddess as depicted in the monomyth. And this meeting being the foundation and the beginning of the trials for Anakin as our hero. The next logical trial progression from the meeting of the goddess is the woman as a temptress in the monomyth. This trial is described as, or described by Campbell's interpretation of the monomyth as a trial in which our hero faces up or experiences a temptation of a pleasurable nature that, if they follow and allow to and foster, that will begin to lead them astray from their path. This temptation usually being for a male protagonist or a male hero, a female in traditional mythology and the traditional monomyth. Sounding more familiar? This second trial perfectly depicts and perfectly describes Anakin's love when faced with Padme, and Anakin's kind of reaction to Padme, most notably in Attack of the Clones, when they begin their relationship. Padme, of course, being completely oblivious to the role she's playing in Anakin's life and the role she's playing towards Anakin, being a trial for him. She's completely oblivious to this, and her love is not intentionally meant to be a trial for Anakin in her own mind, and it's not intentional for her to try and lead him astray. So in Anakin's case, Padme is this kind of love figure and this kind of goddess. Anakin's temptation is Padme herself. This connection with Padme and the relationship and the relations they've shared date back to when Anakin was originally on Tatooine with his mother. This undoubtedly spawns a fear within Anakin of losing Padme like he lost his mother in Attack of the Clones. Combine that with the visions Anakin begins to have in Revenge of the Sith, and we begin to see Anakin's downfall begin. It is this love that Anakin and Padme share in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith that originally starts to push Anakin towards the dark side in search of knowledge to save Padme. This is common knowledge, and everybody knows that. Thus, Padme's love unintentionally begins to lead Anakin away or astray from his Jedi path, much like the monomyth kind of depicts the hero being led astray from their own path if they give in to the temptations and if they give in to their trials, which so far Anakin has. He's given in to all the trials he's faced so far. So the last of these trials depicted in Joseph Campbell's interpretation of the monomyth is the atonement of the father. Now this is going to be taken in very literal terms because Anakin is a child of the Force and he doesn't actually physically have a father, but he does, however, have a father figure. So the atonement of the father kind of trial is described as a trial in which our hero must rise up, or in Anakin's case, fall down, and face up against the ultimate power in their life, or the person that's held ultimate power over them for the majority of their life. In many myths across the globe, this is usually the father, or it usually is a father figure. This point in this trial is also described as the centre of the journey, and all the points are leading up in a kind of climax to this point, and all the points after it are the aftermath, or the points leading away from this centre point that defines our hero, or in this case, our anti-hero. Sounding even more familiar? So at this point in Anakin's journey, he has already failed the previous trials we have talked about, in the previous trials we've described in Joseph Campbell's version of the monomyth, and this is very important for Anakin. In this trial, it's not about the trial or Anakin rising up against the father figure, or Anakin, it's not a trial standing against Anakin in his hero's path. It's now, at this point, the dividing line between good Anakin Skywalker that we all know from the first two prequels and Revenge of the Sith, and the bad Darth Vader that is in the original series. That is the dividing line here, and that's what's being kind of, that's the centre point we're talking about here. So staying true to Joseph Campbell's interpretation of the monomyth, the father figure in Anakin's story is of course Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the centre point and turning point for Anakin's transformation is it can't happen without Obi-Wan Kenobi being there, as Obi-Wan Kenobi is this father figure we speak of, and is right there, and is the father figure Anakin must face up to in the divide between good Anakin Skywalker and bad Darth Vader. Anakin is of course defeated by Obi-Wan in his symbolically good form, which is the Anakin Skywalker we know from 1, 2 and 3, to be reborn into the Darth Vader, or the evil Anakin form that we know in the original trilogy. This death and rebirth of Anakin Skywalker into Darth Vader being the final failure of Anakin in these trials described in the Monomyth. So that is one interpretation of Anakin's downfall that made use of ancient mythology and the Monomyth described by Joseph Campbell and his interpretation of the Monomyth and ancient mythology. You know, that's what it's based from. It's based from his stuff. And if you find this stuff kind of interesting, I do recommend you go and find Joseph Campbell's stuff. There's plenty of resources online you can find about it, books and videos and all kinds of stuff, and it's really interesting stuff. So if you like this kind of thing, even if you're just a Star Wars fan here, go and check it out. It's not like a paid advertisement or anything. You know, no one's getting any money from me, you know, encouraging you to go and read up on this stuff. It's common domain stuff now. So yeah, go and read it. It's interesting. So if you enjoyed this, of course, show your support any way you wish, whether that's a like or a comment. By all means, just show your support. If you enjoyed the video, share it out with your friends and people you think would get something from the video and enjoy this style of video. And just drop a comment if you want to add anything on or mention anything or ask me anything. And if I get enough questions, I can do a Q&A at one point on the channel. And of course, if you enjoyed this style of video and you want more of this type of video, be sure to subscribe to my channel for more updates, because I don't just do film analysis, I do reviews, I do vlogs, I do production vlogs of a Star Wars short film that I'm producing and another short film I'm producing, and I also do other videos on there as well. I do have a gaming channel as well. You can find the link to it. I'll put the link in the description to my channel, my gaming channel, and a wee subscribe button will pop up on the screen somewhere around about now. Of course, you can just use it down there, or down there, wherever. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I certainly enjoyed making it. I'm pumped for Force Awakens. I'm going to see it this Saturday. I did not get seats for the original premieres, but I personally can't wait. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Have a nice day, and that's all for now. Peace.